We have just 4 games left of the season with our Reading side. We are 2 points off of the top of the table. We are, 6, 7 points off of 3rd place. Automatic promotion will take place if we win 2 matches. I believe that's the maths. If we win twice, we'll be promoted to the Premier League. But we've kind of got bigger things on our minds now because we could win the league. And I say that because Wolves have a very difficult run to the end of the season. They have Sheffield United on Friday night, which is why we are back now, because they play that before we play our match. They've got Watford, who are 20th. They then have Derby, who are 5th, and Sunderland, who are 4th. They can definitely drop points there. For us, however, we have 3 arguably much easier games, with Middlesbrough in 20th, Charlton in 21st, Birmingham in 13th, and then we finish with Derby in 5th place. I'm hoping by the time we get to the Derby game, everything's kind of all signed and sealed, and we don't need to worry. So, without further ado, let's press forward to see what happens in the Wolves-Sheffield United game. If Sheffield United win that massively changes the complexion of this episode. Oh my word. I mean, it's not perfect. It is not perfect by any means. However, our goal difference is so superior to Wolves'. If we win our next game, we will go top of the table. If we win our next game, we'll go top of the table. That's big. That is massive. The starting lineup then for the Middlesbrough game at home will be Boyce Clark in goal, Chemadu as our right back with Mepham House and Wilson Esbrand in defence. We're not going to do Chemadu purely because I'm going to struggle to say his name. So Norton Cuffy is going to be our right back, and in fact our left back should be Guinness Walker. I kind of said to him I'm going to play him more, and we need to stick with that. Offenborough and Hamilton in midfield. Basil Tuma gets a start on the right with Taylor Hart on the left. Mansouri and Liam Delap leading the lines. Delap is only going to get about 45 minutes in this because he's just come back from another injury, so we don't really want to be playing him too much. So as I've just mentioned, our run-in actually isn't too bad. We've got 3 very, very winnable games, arguably 2 that we should definitely win. There should be no questions about that. And then we should be able to beat Birmingham in the middle of the table. And then it should come down to the Derby game. But I'm hoping by the time we get there, it's all finished. Torre with a throw for Middlesbrough. It's fallen for Jones. He's just ran into a bit of space. Boyce Clark easily holds on to that. It wasn't even on target anyway. Not really sure why that was considered to be a highlight, but there we are. Norton Cuffy's corner comes in. Courtney House is at the front post. Can't quite get on the end of it. Basil Tuma collects it. The Ugandan international cuts inside, goes for a long-range effort, blasts it over the bar. Imagine if Basil Tuma scores a goal that wins us the league. Guinness Walker's thrown now. He's got an option in front of him, which is Mika Hamilton. Walker again crosses the ball in towards Basil at the back post. And big bad Basil's there. Liam Delap mops up the pieces. Goal number 41 of the season. That's his 38th league goal, I believe. He's been ridiculous. For a free transfer, he's been absolutely ridiculous for me. And once again, Basil Tuma with an assist. He comes in big. He comes in big whenever we need him. Since the goal, nothing's really happened until now. Guinness Walker's ball down the line towards Hamilton doesn't get anywhere near him. Gets another chance, though. It's deflected. Mansouri's not going to get there either. We need to get there first, and we do through Courtney House. Back to Offenborough. Goes for a little wander all the way back to our goalkeeper, Boyce Clark, who is miles outside of his area. I'm concerned we're going to lose this, and they're going to score a goal from the halfway line. Mepham to Courtney House. Not really sure what this highlight is possibly going to turn into. Hamilton dinks it over, finds Taylor Hart on the left. In the middle, back to Mika Hamilton, the captain. Goes for a little run on the ground. He could have played it through to Delap instead. Finds Taylor Hart. Cross comes in. Liam Delap is there. His 42nd goal of the season. I feel like our goal difference is just too superior now anyway, that no one's really going to catch it. But if we can keep extending that, and if Liam Delap can keep getting $5,000 every goal that he scores, sure, mate, you are going to be absolutely loaded. You're, I think, our 2nd highest earner in the club, and you're probably earning way more than everyone else purely just for the amount of goals you score. Not a lot's gone on in the second half, so we are going to do our change for Liam Delap coming off, which he's probably going to get annoyed with because he's on a hat-trick, but he shouldn't play any more than 75 minutes, so we're not going to play him any more than 75 minutes. Looking at fitness, everyone else seems to be okay. Maybe Mika Hamilton as well can come off for Kozlov's. If this episode is going to have 4 matches in it, which it may well do, it's kind of quite good that not a huge amount of highlights have taken place in this one. Force has the ball for Middlesbrough, crosses it in towards Fry in the middle. He's hit the underside of the bar, and Latte Lath has kicked it off for a goal kick. Sure. We've got an injury to Basil Tuma, which means Rob Beale is going to come on, the hero from, I think, last episode against Wolves, where he scored the last-minute equaliser. We're also going to do Kiddo Taylor Hart coming off for Pena. One more change to do, and we've only really got defensive options on the subs bench. Let's do Chuamedi, sure. Definitely not his name either, is it? Chemadu? Chemadu? Might be Chemadu. That's what we're going to go with. Mepham has the ball for us, plays it across to Courtney House. 7 minutes of normal time to play plus any injury time. If we can get a third, that'll be absolutely magical. Pena collects it from Danny Ings, and Pena's in on goal. He's at the post. Danny Ings gets a chance as well. Kicks it straight into, I think, Paddy McNair. Not quite finished yet. Middlesbrough going for the long throw technique. Mepham easily clears it, and now Mansouri with acres of space. A counter-attack is possibly on. Kozlovs, he's got Pena to his left, does use the Angolan. On the ground to Danny Ings. First touch is pretty good. Second touch is even better. Danny Ings, goal number 8 of the season. 3-0 against Middlesbrough. 3 more points on the board, and we are top of the championship. Also, he's not Angolan, he's definitely Colombian. Not only are we top of the championship, but that was a very good performance. Absolutely everybody, bar 2 players, getting a green, and Hamilton arguably wasn't bad. Norton Cuffy was our worst performer by a fair distance. Match number 2 then, away from home against Charlton. It is going to be essentially the same starting 11 with a couple of little changes that we've needed to make, which is basically Taylor Hart and Pena will be our wingers, with Pena on the left, Taylor Hart on the right, because Basil Juma obviously picked up an injury in the last match. Danny Ings and Liam Delap will be leading the lines for this one. Watford are playing Wolves at home, so if Watford can do us a favour and win that match, that would be very, very helpful. So Charlton are down the wrong end of the table, so this should be a very winnable game for us, which arguably every match between now and the end of the season are games that we should be able to win because we are so good at the moment. Charlton do have the ball out after 5 minutes. Dawley loses it out to Courtney House, and we've just passed it straight back to Mubama. We're 1-0 down against Charlton. This isn't how it's supposed to go, guys. Norton Cuffy with a throw for us in a bad place. It's Mubama as well once again, and we are 2-0 down after not even 10 minutes. What is going on? Charlton are coming forward again on the right-hand side. Cross comes in. Boyce Clark holds on to that one. So, I mean, this is not the start that we needed. Are we going to need Rob Beale to come off the subs bench and score a late equaliser again? Boyce Clark is going for a wander for a while around his penalty area. Kicks it eventually upfield. Danny Ings doesn't win the head. And now Charlton can come forward again. Edu's ball over towards Campbell on the left. Intercepted by Mepham, though. Campbell's going to collect it again on the halfway line. 11 minutes on the clock and we're 2-0 down, and we are looking bad at the moment. It's Mabama once again cuts inside, and he should have made it 3. I don't do this often. I do not do this often, but we're going to berate the team. Going to give him a shout. Guinness Walker's corner comes in. It's cleared. Not far enough. Danny Ings has gone for a bicycle kick from there. What are you doing? You are 36 years old. I feel like I've just injured my leg watching that, let alone actually trying to do it. Guinness Walker with another corner for us. Hits the first man, not a very good corner. Hamilton lets it trickle off for a throw. Well, judging by all the smiley faces down the bottom, me shouting at the team kind of worked for about 10 minutes and then stopped working. Wolves are back to the top of the table because obviously they are currently picking up a solitary point against Watford, which it's not good, is it? This is not a good performance at all. Charlton with another chance, possibly with 5 minutes of the first half to play. Pena heads forward towards Ings. Back to House, now offer it all the way back to the goalkeeper, Boyce Clark, who he's on a 6'5". I'm not sure he should be on a 6'5". Norton Cuffy on the right, down the line to Kiddo Taylor Hart, playing on the opposite flank to what he normally does. But he's good enough to do it, so I'm quite happy with it. Cross comes in to nobody gambling whatsoever. Mika Hamilton. Pena's gone for a run, the Colombian. Can he get his cross away? He can't. Plays it back to Hamilton. He's managed to cross it. Taylor Hart is there. He's hit the post. We're never going to score. We're never going to score. It was easier to score and he hit the post. Wolves are also 2-0 up against Watford, so they jump back to the top of the table on merit with the 3-point gap. Not what we wanted at all. We've been arguably the better side. You've been terrible so far. Straight into the second half. Nothing from Delap. Nothing really from Pena. Offenbach's struggling. Courtney House is struggling as well. Free kick comes in from Charlton. Delap needs to try and get there first and isn't going to manage it. We are 2.5 minutes into the second half. A third goal will basically put this match to bed. Unless that third goal comes for us, which, judging by all the highlights, it's not going to, is it? I think we've had like 2 shots and one of them was Danny Ings going for an overhead kick. It is on the right-hand side for Charlton into the penalty area. Guinness Walker can clear from the save. Taylor Hart flicks his head on to Delap. Now Danny Ings on the right-hand side. The ageing striker. This might be his last season playing professional football. Taylor Hart collects it. Back to Norton Cuffy. Down the line again to Taylor Hart. Something's coming from this. I can sense it. Liam Delap gets on the end of it on the volley. And Liam Delap with his 43rd goal of the season. His 40th league goal as well. We are back into this game. And that was a cracking goal. Let's get a second. Let's just go straight in. Make it 2-2 early on in the second half. Delap is there. He's not going to get it though. Person comes out, holds on. So what is this highlight going to be? The Charlton keeper with it in his hands. Goes for a little wander. 54 minutes on the clock so far. Kick over the halfway line. Courtney House heads down. Straight to Jamie Shackleton though. Campbell on the left-hand side. We are playing badly. I don't know whether it's their formation that seems to be just outdoing us at the moment. Jamie Donnelly's headed effort goes over the bar. Charlton is still looking good, aren't they? They're literally playing a 4-4-2, and they're getting so much more space than we are. I don't get it. Slater with a throw, 62nd minute. Still Charlton coming forward. They don't need another goal. Obviously, they'd like another goal because then we need to score 2 more. Boyce Clark has it in his hands. We need to get this equaliser. A draw is better than a defeat, which is obvious, but still, a draw is better than a defeat. We've not managed to get there first, and now Mbama is in on goal once again. Courtney House can somehow block it, but it's fallen for Jamie Shackleton, and it's 3-1. The 2-goal advantage is restored. We have not turned up defensively. Look at those numbers. Also, Offenborough playing badly, so Kozlovs is going to come on as the the ball in the midfielder. Pena's coming off for Onyedinma, a rare appearance for Onyedinma this season. Courtney House is coming off for Nissen. And we're going to do Norton Cuffey off for Chamadiu. And do we do all 5 subs at 60 minutes? I mean, we've got a knock. We'll do it. Wilson Esbrand's coming on as well. 5 subs in 63 minutes. We need to turn something around. And I feel like it's too little too late. Throw in a good position for Charlton once again. Edvarson plays it back to the throw taker. Notice I'm avoiding saying his name because it's complicated and confusing me. Edu gets a bit of space. The right back with some space for himself now. Shackleton finds Edvarson. Cross comes in. Chamadiu clears it not very well. Nissen clears it. Onyedinma. All of the subs combining in this highlight for us. And we still don't have the ball outside of the final third. On the right-hand side again for Charlton. Edvarson's cross comes in. We need to get there first. Kozlov does get there first. Campbell's going to keep it alive though. Now Edu, number 8. Is he going to get that cross away on the ground? Plays it to Campbell and Tyrese Campbell makes it 4-1. What has happened here? The only thing I can think of is Charlton are in a relegation scrap and they really want to win this game because a win here means they are basically not getting relegated. So maybe that's what they're going for. Chamadiu to Taylor Hart, 78th minute. Kozlovs collects it. We've got Hamilton in the middle. Doesn't use him. Instead goes for a long-range effort himself. Almost finds the top corner. Would have been a good goal. Not really what you need when you're 4-1 down, though. Campbell with a corner for Charlton. I feel like it's going to be 5, isn't it? Ness is there. Mbama plays it back to Edvarson. Now Edu on the half volley. It's gone just wide. It could have been 5. Wolves are also now 3-0 up against Watford, which means that match is dead in the water, isn't it? 10 goal difference at the moment between us. Ings' cross comes in. It's an awful cross. And none of our players are chasing it down. Absolutely none of our players. Now Eden has the ball. He's got no legs, has he? He can't run anywhere, apparently. Lieburn loses out to Wilson Esbrand and then just gets the ball straight back. Goes for goal. Not a very good effort. Goes well wide. But this is a poor performance for a team chasing the title. This is awful. 7 minutes of injury time has just flown by. I think there was actually an injury for Tyrese Campbell, which is why there was 7 minutes of injury time. The full-time whistle goes and Thrash Arms, unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. If we won that, we would have been promoted as well. Reading lose top spot. Onyedinma's injured again. I mean, the reason why we've not seen a huge amount of Onyedinma, by the way, is because he's constantly injured. So, I mean, what has happened to you, mate? You've just fallen apart. Also, Guinness Walker's out injured as well. I've slammed the team. I think Wolves did win 3-0 in the end. Yes, they did. So, 2 more matches to play in this episode. We have confirmed playoffs, but we want automatic promotion. We really need to win the next game. Right, we go again then. Birmingham City in the league this time around. I believe Wolves are playing Derby, who are currently 3rd place in the table. So if there is ever a time to Wolves to slip up, now is that time. And remember, we also have to play Derby as our final game of the season. So even if Wolves do slip up, we might then slip up against Derby. It is going to be Boyce Clark in goal, Norton Cuffey, Mepham, House and Wilson Esbrand in defence. Midfield is Kozlovs and Hamilton. We've dropped Offenborough because he's been pretty poor the last few games. Beale is getting a start on the right-hand side with Taylor Hart on the left. Ings and Delap leading the lines. We're not going to do Ings, we're going to do Mansouri leading the line because he scores more goals and arguably he's a better player now. 2 things that we really need from this match. Number 1, first of all, is a win. And number 2 is to play so much better than what we did in the last match, because the last match was absolutely awful. Wolves are playing Derby, but they are at Molineux, so Wolves kind of have the home field advantage at the moment. Wilson Esbrand to Hamilton on the ground, doesn't find Kozlovs, but instead we found a penalty. That'll do, we'll have that. It's going to be Liam Delap stepping up to take it for goal number 44, potentially, of the season. Last time we had a penalty on camera, Danny Ings absolutely ballsed it up. Liam Delap does not balls this one up, though. We take the lead. Goal number 44 of the season. We take the lead against Birmingham, and I think We are just going to be 1 point behind Wolves at the moment. We do need to keep an eye on what is going on at Molineux, because if Wolves lose, it gets very exciting all of a sudden. Beale collects the ball, plays it back to Kozlovs. I thought he almost won another penalty then. Hamilton collects it, invites Wilson Esbrand forward on the left. 4 at least in the box. Beale is one of them. Beale hits the inside of the post. It rolls across the line and goes off for a corner. Norton Cuffy steps up to take the corner on the left. 13th minute. Cross comes in. Mepham's at the back post. Powerful header from the former Bournemouth man, but it goes just wide. Norton Cuffy with a throw finds Beale. Back to Norton Cuffy. Loses out. And now Burgess for Birmingham. On the ground to Sander Berg. Now Kouame back to Matt Targett by the looks of it, playing for Birmingham. That's a good signing. I actually looked at trying to bring him in as well. Sander Berg can go for a little wander through the centre circle, off towards the right-hand side. Being closed down though. Laird, ball in towards the middle. Goalkeeper comes out, which is a risky thing, but gets there first. And now a counter-attack might be on. It could have been on until we passed it straight to Burgess. Now Minty. Is that his name, Minty? Surely Minty's not his name. It's a good save from Boyce Clark. We are going to see the resulting corner though. We are still only 18.5 minutes in. Scott Twine takes the corner towards Kouame at the back post. Header clear though, I think by Norton Cuffy it was. Minter collects it. Ball forward. Beale intercepts though. That's what we like to see. Mansouri's just smashed it upfield to nobody apparently. Half an hour played. We are 1-0 up. Wolves Derby still 0-0, which actually doesn't sound bad, but a 0-0 draw and a defeat in their final game would be very, very helpful for us. It's still 0-0 as we approach half-time as well. I hate the fact that this keeps scrolling. I hate the fact that it keeps moving. We are 2 minutes of injury time to play. Half-time whistle goes. So, we have our lead, which is what we want. And it looks like Derby and Wolves are still 0-0. Come on, Derby. You need a win. I mean, arguably, having a win now doesn't mean anything. This, by the way, I completely kind of forgot. If we win this, we are promoted. This is a huge match. This is way bigger than I've kind of thought actually it would be, because I'm too focused on what Wolves are doing. We've passed it straight to one of their players, which is not ideal. Now Minty's going to go for a run towards the left-hand side. 50th minute on the clock. Cross comes in. Ball goes into the back of it. Enzo Sternal makes it 1-1. Now, we could get in a horrible situation where we lose this, Derby win their match, and we have then not guaranteed ourselves automatic promotion, but also Wolves haven't guaranteed themselves winning the league either. And we could finish anywhere between 3rd and 1st. Obviously, I don't want that to happen. Kiddo Taylor Hart's on a 6.2. I mean, get off the pitch. What are you doing? I have no idea what you're doing to get that low score. But there we are. We are going to do another change as well. Hamilton's coming off for Offenborough. Swap you two round. For some reason, the Wolves Derby scores disappeared. It looks like Wolves are taking the lead. They have a 70th minute penalty, which means if everything stays this way, we might still technically be... We should be promoted, right? We should be promoted even if everything stays this way, but we can't finish any higher than 2nd place, which is fine. Which is honestly perfectly fine. I'll just happily go into the Premier League. Beale doesn't manage to find Offenborough, and now Dembele can play the ball forward. It is Sternal down the left-hand side for Birmingham. The reason why I think we're going to be promoted is because of the Wolves Derby game, basically. Wolves can decide, do we want to get Reading promoted? Or, oh my word, what has happened there? Chris Mepham scored an own goal. We're going to lose against Birmingham, but we're still going to get promoted, even if we lose. Unless Derby equalise? I mean, I'm trying to work out the maths here. But if we lose this, I think we're still promoted. But this is 2 defeats in a row, which is not good. Ball forward for Reading. Left-hand side is Dembele. We've got 4 minutes of injury time to play. I'd love just a draw. Just give us a draw now. Matt Targett on the left-hand side for Birmingham. Crosses it in. Joel Perot's there. He's hit the bar. Mepham can clear it upfield. Mansouri collects it. We've got Beale going for a run. Are we actually going to get any form of highlight out of this? Beale's given up running. He gave up running there for some reason. Wolves are 2-0 up as well against Derby. So, the title dream is over. But, I'm pretty sure we're promoted. I'm almost certain we are promoted. We're promoted. Reading celebrate promotion. So we are promoted to the Premier League in Season 4. It's kind of disappointing in a way, because we could have actually gone up as champions, but we are going to go up in 2nd place. We've got one more game to play against Derby, which means absolutely nothing. So we are going to see basically what happens the other side of the Derby game, because I'm not going to waste your time showing a match that means literally nothing. But before we get there, we have our transfer budgets for next season, which is just under £40 million. Now, the question is, I would love to see some comments here. What do we strengthen? Honestly, what do we strengthen? Because this is our best 11 on paper. And yes, arguably Danny Ings, we need a new striker to partner Liam Delap on the up front, basically, as a pressing forward, because Delap should be there. We need a pressing forward. But Mansouri has potential. We know he's going to be good, so we're going to try and get him some more game time. We've got Scott Banks on the right-hand side who keeps getting injured. Maybe we need to look at replacing Banks and Taylor Hart. Possibly that's where we go. Defensively, I'm quite happy with Mepham, House and Boyce Clark. That's a good little triangle there. Maybe another central midfielder. But 40 million isn't a lot, is it? 40 million really isn't a lot of money, and we're obviously going to try and shift on some players as well, but we're not going to be getting millions of pounds for players unless it's Liam Delap, and if we sell Liam Delap, we're getting relegated in Season 5. So the end of the season for us was not very good at all. We actually drew the final game of the season against Derby, but it obviously did not matter. We picked up injuries from Mepham, Mansouri and Delap in that match as well. We kind of just crumbled. From this point onwards, we just absolutely crumbled. But obviously the main thing is we have gone up in second place. Stoke finishing third, Derby fourth, West Brom fifth, Burnley in sixth. Who's coming down from the Premier League? No one, technically, at the moment. It is looking likely it's going to be Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham, maybe Everton, maybe Forest, maybe Norwich. Those are the 6 teams that could potentially be dropping down. Everton would be an interesting one. I mean, obviously, they've come down once already, so I don't know how much they've really strengthened going back up. That's going to do it for this season, but I do just want to show Liam Delap, who at 24 years of age has played 43 league games, scoring 41 goals. He has pretty much doubled his XG. His XG is just under 27 goals, scoring 41. Without Liam Delap, we would not have been anywhere near being promoted. Top goal scorer by a ridiculous amount. What was that? 16 goals more than Franco Sosa. Top average rating on 7.6. Most man of the matches with 14. Boyce Clark actually getting 18 clean sheets as well. So defensively has really helped us out this season, making sure that we don't concede a huge amount of goals. 11 defeats is a lot of defeats, but we didn't lose to anyone really kind of important. We managed to draw or beat the teams that are sort of in and around us, which is always good. I mean, West Brom we lost to twice, but still, we managed to do decent enough jobs against Wolves. 2 draws against Wolves. That's massive. That is really big. That is going to do it then for Season 4. Stay tuned for Season 5, which will be the final season with Reading, as surely our one objective is don't get relegated. That has to be our only objective with Reading in Season 5. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy, do please remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll be back with the final season of Reading, and hopefully Liam Delap can score 40 goals in the Premier League and get in the England squad.